The Minnesota Vikings aren't just stumbling through a rough year. They're unraveling under the weight of a full organizational crisis. J.J. McCarthy's concussion is the headline, but it's really a mirror reflecting deeper failures in planning, culture, and leadership. The concussion story starts with the misleading timing of his symptoms, which didn't show up until the plane ride home from Lambeau. That delay isn't unusual at all, especially after 3 brutal hits that stacked up like a slow-building disaster hidden under adrenaline. Those impacts, a slam onto frozen turf, a crowned first tackle, and a ragdoll collapse before an ugly interception, created a cumulative trauma that only surfaced once the chemicals faded. It set the stage for Max Brosmer, the undrafted rookie now stepping into a firestorm with expectations below sea level. The Vikings are expected to run a simplified training wheels offense for Brosmer, removing the dense pre-snap reads that have suffocated the unit all season. The uncomfortable twist is that this dumbed-down scheme might function better than the overly complex system they forced on their top 10 pick. If Brosmer stabilizes the offense even slightly, the blame shifts sharply toward Kevin O'Connell and QB coach Josh McCown for building a system their chosen quarterback couldn't survive. Their preseason praise for Brosmer's processing only heightens the pressure if he performs competently in a basic structure. McCarthy, meanwhile, is portrayed not as stubborn, but overwhelmed, drowning under the pressure to make a Super Bowl-caliber play every snap. That stress connects directly to his one-pitch problem, where he reverts to throwing every ball at maximum velocity when mentally overloaded. The coaching staff worsened the issue by giving him too many conflicting instructions, causing him to overcorrect and freeze in the pocket like a statue. That level of information overload is a developmental failure, not just a quarterback flaw. At 22 years old and only 6 starts in, McCarthy should be allowed to struggle. But the NFL rarely offers extended patience for growing pains. The Vikings must decide if his rare flashes of high-level play justify continuing the experiment, or if the organization's teaching structure is fundamentally broken. That question ties into broader roster mismanagement, especially the decision to build around a developmental prospect while refusing to sign a veteran bridge like Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones. By creating a quarterback vacuum, they forced McCarthy to be both long-term project and immediate savior, an impossible contradiction. The failed development of other young players strengthens the case that the coaching staff can't mold raw talent. When the GM drafts upside and the coaches prefer safe veterans, it creates a loop of wasted potential and organizational distrust. The pre-draft Jim Harbaugh effect adds another layer of irony, as the Vikings seem to have internalized his hype about McCarthy after missing the chance to hire him. They drafted a quarterback heavily influenced by a coach they don't employ, and now that emotional overcorrection is blowing up in their faces. Culturally, the team functions like a dysfunctional organization where coaches interfere in each other's roles. The 12 men on the field fiasco is the perfect example of boundaries collapsing under distrust and mixed messages. For players, that chaotic environment is paralyzing, creating miscommunication that mirrors McCarthy's on-field hesitation. Free agents can sense that instability, which makes attracting top-tier talent even harder. Kevin O'Connell's public acceptance of responsibility for McCarthy now leaves him exposed as the offense sinks to the worst passing performance since 1992 by EPA metrics. Extensions for him and Kwesi, Adofo, Mensah don't guarantee safety because ownership can easily eat the money if they want to reset. Long-term, the Vikings are stuck between being too talented to tank and too flawed to contend. That middle ground likely keeps them out of range for elite quarterback prospects, stretching any rebuild deep into the future and burning the prime of stars like Justin Jefferson. The run-it-back trap is the biggest danger, where small tweaks replace real accountability and simply move the team from 4 wins to 6 without fixing the core issues. A true reset requires confronting the organizational dysfunction, not rearranging the deck chairs. So now Minnesota faces 2 painful paths: endure the multi-year grind of developing McCarthy, or cut bait and start from scratch with limited leverage. Neither path is pretty, but pretending the problem is temporary would be the most damaging mistake of all. At the heart of this mess is a simple truth. A franchise cannot demand the payoff of a developmental quarterback without committing fully to his growth. Until the Vikings accept that reality, no quarterback, rookie or veteran, will survive the environment surrounding them.